What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Wingers and Defenders. Today, we'll be talking about Arsenal's struggles in the Premier League, especially. We'll see if they can get out of this. But as you can see in the bottom, Jake is not very happy with the way this team is playing at the moment. But before we get into this, just please like, subscribe. We have a lot of good videos coming out. Had a lot coming out recently, so that's important. We're coming back all from college now, so we have a lot of time to make videos. So check it out. Let us know what you want us to make in the future. We are open to anything. We have an under-19s video that was suggested by somebody that we will be coming up with in the next couple of days. But before we start, Jake, how we doing?
Not prepared for this. As I've said previously, I'm fighting my demons today. This Arsenal team is going to be the death of me. And I'm just trying to cope. And this video may be a way for me to vent, but we'll see.
Joe?
We're here. I mean, I was very high on Arsenal to start this season, but, they're my rivals. And I only feel bad for them because of my friend Jake. Other than them, I know they put him through a continuous pain throughout the week. But other than that, I'm enjoying it. So, yes.
Yep.
Yes, very beautiful. Beautiful times in North London right now.
So, yes, we'll start off. Just Arsenal's currently 12th in the Premier League.
Wait, how are you doing, Christian?
Oh, thank you. We're chilling. I'm back home now. Tested negative, so all good. Ready for Thanksgiving. Ready for some football. You guys probably will end up winning. Maybe.
Who knows if we'll play? Who knows if we'll play, though, because Ravens decided they want to have a COVID party.
Make me happy 2 weeks in a row, but we have the Washington football team. But we'll go back to world football. Arsenal are currently 12th in the Premier League, 13 points. That would be 7 off the top. Definitely a struggle at the moment. We saw them play this weekend. I watched a little part of the game. I'm not sure if Jake watched the whole thing, but Leeds game, we saw Nicolas Pepe get sent off for a headbutt, I believe, of some player. I'm not too sure who it was, but it's kind of been a struggle. But we'll start off with you, Jake. What is your overall consensus of how this team has played to start the season?
Worse than I thought we would start, mostly because I thought we'd have a bit more of an attacking presence. We don't have any kind of rhythm or desire to create, and that's obviously due to us not signing a creative midfielder in the transfer window. We need a creative midfielder desperately. Defensively, we're not even that poor. I mean, we conceded 3 to Aston Villa, which is not good, but I mean, defensively overall this season, we haven't been that bad. It's just on the attack, we've been just awful. We have no creativity. Aubameyang is very isolated in games, whether you put him on the left. And fans have been begging for Arteta to put him as a central striker, which he actually has been playing. We did play last game against Leeds. But again, he was isolated. There was no really service to him. So he would get minimal touches on the ball. Players like Saka came off the bench and Reece Nelson came off the bench because Willian and Nicolas Pepe were given starting positions. And they both played poorly. Like you said, Christian, Pepe got sent off with a red. Just head loss, brainless play. Got into it with Alioski, I believe, on Leeds, who I think is a right back for them. I could be wrong. Or left back, sorry. Got into multiple kind of pushing, shoving matches with him during the match, and then it just boiled over. Headbutted him, head loss, it happens. And I don't really want to see Pepe in the starting lineup for a while, if I even want him at the club anymore. He's been a waste of money. I've changed my tune on this because I want to be a supporter for Pepe, but the way he's been playing and his red card on the weekend just proves that the £72 million price tag is not worth it. And he hasn't.
Zidane without the talent.
Zidane's an interesting comparison considering they played 2 different positions and they're very different. But anyways,
the headbutt.
Okay, but at least that one was kind of warranted and much more devastating. But anyways,
wait, we're talking
in the World Cup.
Anti-Italian bias from Jacob Ford. Interesting.
No, well, it's because what I'm hearing is Zidane only did that for a reason. That the Italian man said something to Zidane that was very offensive. He wouldn't do that for no reason. Pepe was just a shoving match, and he just did it for no reason. But overall, Pepe poor, Willian poor, a whole attack poor. Only
cool.
Okay, our only hope going forward was Saka and Reece Nelson, who gave us some attacking life off the bench. But of course, Saka came off injured towards the end of the match, which is not a good look. Hopefully, he's okay and can start next weekend. But on the attack, we have nothing going forward. We're essentially Burnley.
Aubameyang?
And
Aubameyang?
Like I said, he has no service. Like I said, he has no service. So like when you have no service of Aubameyang, what else is you going to be able to do? We have nothing, no creativity. We're essentially Burnley.
Joe, your thoughts?
My thoughts is that Arteta focused so much on getting this defensive shape and fixing up the defense that he just threw everything to the side about offense. I don't know what their plan is because they have no creative midfielder. I don't know why they froze Ozil out of the club. That was weird because, I mean, he's definitely not as good as he used to be. I mean, we could all agree on that. But, like, at least there's some creative potential with him there. Now you just got Aubameyang basically either on the wing or central with no creativity. I would say Saka's somewhat creative, but he's not Ozil creative. Like, he's creative, but he's more of a crosser creative, not like
not playing centrally.
Exactly. Like, so other than that, I mean, what is this team other than just sit everyone back and hope not to concede? And I give Arteta credit; he did a great job fixing up this defense. Leno's a great goalkeeper, but I mean, if you prevent teams from scoring, you're not going to lose. But if you can't score, you can't win. I mean, Son has as many goals as Arsenal throughout the Premier League season this year. That's just not acceptable. We all know Son is world class, but that's just not acceptable. So, I mean, Aubameyang's been a disappointment this season. Yes, there hasn't been service, but he's just been disappointing overall this season. And I mean, Arsenal, I mean, they got to figure something out. I think Arteta still might be the man for the job, but like if this team, if he can't figure out a way to unlock the offense, there's going to be conversations at some point.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because last season we saw them play really well towards the end of the Project Restart in reality, and it's not much unchanged from the attacking side of the ball. I don't remember anybody else being a creative midfielder for them that isn't performing now, but Aubameyang was playing out of his mind last season. They had Pepe, who kind of came on towards the end of the season, was especially in the FA Cup, because I can remember the Man City game where he was playing really well, had the really good assist to Aubameyang, I believe. But Lacazette's been poor, and Nketiah's been okay, I think. But there's not any guy that's standing out for me and saying, well, this is my job to take, and they're just not playing well. And like you guys both mentioned, defensively they've been pretty good, and Leno's performed well, and I think he's now solidified himself as a top 5 keeper in this league. Gabriel's come in, he's played almost every game, and I think he's been really well, performing well as well. So it's interesting because they have a pretty good defense, yet they can't get anything going forward. And Jake, is there anybody last season that was playing as a creative player in the midfield that isn't playing now? I can't think of anybody.
No, that's what's kind of confusing to me because we were never a team that was like an offensive threat. Like even last season when we had Arteta and we had essentially the same lineup that we had this year, barring Willian, it was the same lineup. We weren't scoring bundles of goals, like 6-7 goals a game, obviously. We were getting like 2 or 3. So it wasn't like our offensive efficiency just plummeted. We weren't a crazy offensive team anyways, but it just seems like all of that creative spark that we had is gone now. Saka was starting every game pretty much at the end of last season, and now he's kind of playing every other game. I want to see him start every week. There's no reason why Pepe or Willian should be starting over Saka. Zero reason why that should be happening when he's fit. It's the same team as last season, essentially. And even when you add Willian, who isn't a very consistent player at all, that should still be attacking-minded players, and it's still not adding up. I think I've told Joe this yesterday. 50% of it has to go on Arteta. At least half of it has to go on Arteta for not getting the team on an attacking mindset, willing to take risks. There's no risk takers. Their weight of pass is poor. I'm watching them against Leeds, and they're making decent plays, but all the weight of pass is off. So they get picked off by Leeds defenders, or they just get overshot by midfielders. And then half of it has to go on the players. The players have to step up. It's not all Arteta's fault. The players have to take initiative. The players have to want to score goals, take risks. I get that you're afraid you're going to get, at least yet against Leeds, there was a counter-attacking threat. If you lost the ball against Leeds, you're going to have to sprint back because Leeds are going to try to get back at you. But you have to take risks. You can't just sit back the entire game and play, side-to-side football and then crosses into the box. You have to try to make defenders uncomfortable. I play defense. You have to make defenders uncomfortable. You can't let them just sit there, watch the game from 50 yards away. You have to put the ball in their area, make them make decisions, and we're not doing that.
And I think it's interesting because we also saw them sign Thomas Partey, who I really think is a quality midfielder. But it was kind of a question of, is he the right guy they should be signing for, whether it's him or more of a number 10? And I think Thomas Partey will be good for you going forward. I don't think that's much of a question. But when you have guys like Danny Ceballos and Granit Xhaka, who are, I guess, more defensive, Xhaka's more of a 6, and Danny Ceballos is not necessarily an attacking midfielder, but I guess more box-to-box. So it's interesting because we see this team struggle to get any creativity because Aubameyang is basically on an island playing left wing. I mean, the last time I remember, if I could remember, I think the last time he scored was against United in the game at Old Trafford.
Penalty, by the way.
Penalty.
Not even open play.
And that's the problem because I think
they should have sold him, honestly.
No, I don't think they should have.
They should have sold him. They should have got their profit. He was at an all-time high price-wise. He's not going to be that high again. He's on the decline. They should have sold him on that chance.
My only response to that is if you get rid of him, this team is even worse because you would have no outlet. You can't rely on a Willian or a Nicolas Pepe or an Alexander Lacazette.
You go sign
everything on his own. The only guy on this team that can do that right now, and he's not doing it right now because he's just struggling, is Aubameyang. Do you think this team could be even okay if they didn't have him?
They're not okay.
No. I'm just saying even if you got rid of him, it'd be even worse, right?
I mean, Laka has more goals than him.
That's a moot point. He has one more goal than him.
Less games.
This guy can get to a Brace next game and have more than Lacazette. So then what's the point? This guy Lacazette, you know Lacazette's not better than him. You know that for a fact. You're just using stats to bolster your argument. You know that. I
think Aubameyang's on the way down. I think you guys should have sold him while his price was high.
Okay,
you're not going to get that same price again, and now you sell him. I don't know.
That's a Champions League football.
What?
I would argue they're in desperate need of Champions League football.
Well, they might not even get Europa League football this year.
Sure, but going into the season.
That club is in so much shambles. Like, I don't think we've given up. We haven't talked about how shambolic that club is for now. I mean, yes, Spurs have not won a trophy in a while.
They've been good defensively. It's offensively.
Given, but it's not just that. This team, first off, Kroenke is a Scrooge. He doesn't like to spend his money. So first off, they're already low on money. They're struggling in Europa League. They got bounced out very early last year, which already ruins how much they're making. Now they're losing money because they can't have fans in the stadium. So they're already losing money now. You have an owner who doesn't want to put money into the club, and they can't even get Europa League this year. Possibly, this club is really turning into a club that we maybe need to think about taking out of. Other than legacy-wise, are they really a big club anymore? Are they really a big club anymore? Other than legacy, who goes into the Emirates and says, "I'm scared of playing Arsenal"? Who goes there?
I think you can argue that, but in terms of the table,
in a few years, their invincible juice is gonna run off. They're going to lose all that juice they have of everyone saying Arsenal was an elite team when they were growing up. And then what? What are they going to do after that? What about Arsenal other than their history, which is so far along in the past that was desirable to go there? Let's be honest.
I think you can make that argument about a lot of different teams, but they can quickly turn the page and all of a sudden they're right back in it.
If they spend money, but their owner doesn't want to spend money out of his own pocket.
Interestingly enough, if two of these results go our way, we're probably in the top 4. We're not having this conversation.
If you win this weekend against Wolves at the Emirates, you go up from 12th to 6th.
Yeah, but I'm saying even last.
The table is so condensed right now to the point where you can get 2 results. You can go from mid-table to the top 5.
If we win the Leicester game,
we still need to have these conversations because this has been a thing for a few years now.
No, I don't disagree with you.
I agree with you. I'm saying the last few weeks we've played, I'm going to say Leicester. We got a result at Leicester, win that game, that's 3 points, and we win against Leeds. That's another 3 points, 6 points. We're a completely different conversation we're having. And I'm going to bring back to what Joe said with selling Aubameyang last season. That is a boneheaded decision for 2 reasons. One, because who do you bring in of similar quality that wants to play at Arsenal right now that can play in the Champions League, that wants to come to us? That you can sell Aubameyang for and get a profit on.
We're obviously not getting Champions League football anyway, so why don't you get someone who's cheap and young?
We didn't know. You yourself predicted them in the top 4, so you.
I did. I was wrong. I drank the Kool-Aid with this team. I thought Arteta was this elite coach when he's maybe top 8. I don't know if we could say he's top 5. I remember we were all saying Arteta might be a better coach than Jose Mourinho, and we were all dead wrong in that one, myself included.
Well, we still have time on that one. I'm not even going to get out on that one. There's still plenty of time. Arteta's
better than Jose Mourinho right
now.
now.
I'm saying the season's still young, so don't just say Jose is going to be this.
We are 9 games into the
Second
season.
thing I'm going to say is you do not want to antagonize the entire fan base by selling your best player. Because if that was the
fan base is always antagonized. You can't win with that fan base.
If that was the case, then Kane should have left. If that was the case, Kane should have left 4 years ago. Kane should have left 4 years ago. This is literally Kane
having his best season of his career right now, by the way.
Yeah, but I'm saying Kane should have left 4 years ago then.
While we're having a title chase. But Kane isn't 30 years old.
He's like 27, 28, 2
Correct.
years old. I'm not gonna. I'm arguing from a perspective of your best player, your best striker, just selling him because your team is playing nowhere.
Kane is a more complete, well-rounded striker.
Aubameyang
is speed. Aubameyang's also
in volume. Speed and volume. He's not a good finisher. He's not a good finisher, and he's not a good passer. He can dribble, and he has speed, and he gets a lot of shots off.
I'm not
arguing. He's not getting those shots off. He's mediocre at best.
I'm not making that argument. I'm arguing if your team is not winning, sell your best player so you can get players in that could be better and help your team.
But you don't have anyone to get him the ball. He needs service. Why would you have? What's the point of having a class striker when you don't have anyone to?
Then why argue to sell him?
So why sell him when you can keep him and then just buy players? So we're trying to do
because you don't buy players because you don't have any profit. So you got to use your money to get a creative player.
But they just bought Thomas Partey.
Thomas Partey's a defensive midfielder. He's not creative. That was stupid.
Sure, but they have the money to buy him, so they have some money.
I'm still baffled by this. I'm still baffled why you would sell your top player just because, even though he's.
You want to make a profit on players. You want to make a profit on players. You don't just hold on.
If you need to sell them,
money.
We don't need money. They don't want to spend the money. You said this yourself. They don't want to spend money. They have it. They don't want to spend it. The problem is getting the right players in and spending the money. Not like they don't have money. They're not broke.
Thomas Partey, great player, Christian, but he's not what they need right now.
Oh, I don't disagree with you, but
yeah, he made that point.
But they still have money because they can spend it. Then it's not like they don't have anything because they had to have used money to buy Thomas Partey, and it wasn't like he was a cheap player either. I think it was above 50 million, correct?
They got to sell Pepe for someone.
And Pepe,
I said this before in the past.
I know. I'm just saying. They need to get a creative midfielder to try to unlock a ball.
So if they get a creative midfielder in January, where do you think the team goes?
But if they sell Aubameyang last summer, that doesn't happen. We don't have a creative midfielder or a striker.
I'll just say his price is going down by the second right now.
Right now, yes. It happens to players.
If he can't pick up his form, you're not going to be able to make a profit off of him.
They don't need to worry about making a profit on him.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
It's
the way they operate. They have money, but they refuse to spend it unless they're getting money back in.
I mean, I get what you're saying from a business standpoint, making profits because you want to make profits on transfers, get good transfers in. But you don't just sell your top player just because he's out of form. I don't think Aubameyang.
He's not going to pick up form this season, though.
You're saying that for the whole season.
I think unless you guys get a creative midfielder in January, I can't see him doing much this season.
So what's the difference between this season and last season? Because they have the same exact front six of some sort, and he was performing at a high level. So there's no difference in personnel.
I have no idea. Might have been.
So if he performed last season and
maybe he's starting to get older and fall off a cliff. I don't know. I haven't been watching too much.
The difference between 30 and 31 is not going to be significant, in my opinion. I think there's too much of this season left.
Tom Brady was great at 40. I don't know. Phillip Rivers, for example, he was great in 2018, right? He had a great season in 2018, right? 2019, he fell off an absolute cliff. So why can't 1 year be the difference?
First of all,
for a player that's known for his
different sports, contact sport versus something that's much less contact heavy, and a quarterback who was in his late 30s, I think that's a little bit different. Sure, his pace is probably going to drop off at some point. I don't know.
That was his thing. He's not a good finisher, though. He's not a good finisher.
I think from a business perspective, I get what Joe is saying, but you're creating more problems by selling your best player and not replacing him with someone of equal or better value and then getting creative midfielder in there when you can literally just get a creative midfielder in January.
If they get a midfielder in January, I think we could be talking about a very different situation when we get a couple.
Will they get a midfielder in January? I mean, COVID's starting to affect teams now. We'll see what they do.
Well, there are teams coming back to the stadium.
Possibly 4,000.
But like you said,
difference.
Teams across Europe, like you said, Joe, teams need money. Teams need to spend money. need to bring in new players. They need money. We try to go off for players in Salzburg, Szoboszlai, who's going to be the attacking midfielder for us. We want to buy him. Those guys kind of need that money. Smaller teams kind of need that money. I don't know. I think the only thing is getting the right transfer targets. I think Partey was a priority for us. Should have been the main priority, but should have been a priority. Now, creative midfielder is the next thing.
I still think Xhaka was good enough. I mean, I like the move, but I really think they should have maybe tried to wait on
I
Partey.
think they're on two different levels.
Well, wait, what do you mean Xhaka on his own?
Like, I think Xhaka was good enough where you should have went for an attacking midfielder before Partey.
Well, you went for a war from
Exactly. I think they should have went for him before they went for Partey, personally.
Oh, we did.
Partey
was
agree.
well. What I know of, we went for Partey first, and there was no Atletico did not want to sell him, so we went for Aouar pretty much all summer, and it didn't work out. So we just paid Partey's release clause. He was probably the second option mainly. We couldn't get Aouar. We needed to get one signing in, so we got Partey.
It's better than nothing, but it was probably the wrong one. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the wrong one, but not the best one.
Not the one we needed at the time.
Right. And, I mean, you have guys like Willock. I don't know what do you think of Willock? Because I know a lot of people are kind of high on him, but also he's young as well.
It's where he's performed very, very well in the Europa League, but this is against inferior competition. So we give him that shot against Leeds where he starts against Leeds, and he doesn't really produce much. And to me, he's not a creative midfielder. He's a center mid, kind of like Ceballos. He's a box-to-box kind of guy. He's not a creative guy. You need a creative person in the middle. That's why when Joe brings up the Ozil point, you wonder where is Ozil when you need a guy like that. Or, I guess, Ozil's the only really guy that fits that mold at Arsenal. So we need to go out and buy one because Willock doesn't fit that mold of creative midfielder.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting topic because I think even with the signing of Willian, that one was in question. Kind of got off to a good start, but I know you've said.
I mean, I will say this. If that thing with that remember that new Champions League thing? I don't know if that went through.
The Super League thing?
Yeah. If that's the case, Arsenal will be okay because they got in there, but they don't deserve to be in there.
I also just don't want that to happen.
I think that's a terrible idea. I mean, Arsenal's going to get an influx of money for being completely average for the past decade. So,
I mean, in the Premier League we've been average, but I mean, I'd say in overall we're winning. Still, we're winning trophies. Unfortunately for you.
I mean, you're winning trophies, but you have no money. So, I mean, you're winning trophies.
No, we have money.
Congrats.
They don't spend money
because of the way the business works. They need to bring in more money.
Oh yeah, we're probably losing money from.
So they're trying to maximize profit. So yes, you have money, but the way Kroenke works is he's not going to spend that money if you guys don't start getting Champions League, which means you're going to be in this never-ending cycle of being where you're at right now and falling down the table.
Yeah, so that's why we need a creative midfielder. The creative midfielder can unlock everything for us in reality.
I mean, we'll see how good of a coach Arteta is when he gets that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic. We'll definitely be bringing it up over the next couple of months as we get into this Christmas period, which is going to be really hectic for all these teams. But let us know what you think about Arsenal in the comments below. It's definitely an interesting topic. We'll see if Aubameyang can get back to his old form. We'll see, though. But just let us know what any video ideas you want in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and, just enjoy the rest of your day.